got a vision, got to tell me, you know the rules. Definitely not a fucking player, huh? This is a deep one, man. This is a real deep one. I'm kind of like biased about it, but then at the same time, it's like, yo, man, it's very sensitive. Like this topic is so sensitive and so thought provoking that I'm about to bring to y'all. It's like no different from let's say a 2-year-old child loves her mother, or a 2-year-old boy, girl, boy, whatever. They love their mother, they love their father. The boy or the girl don't live with the mother. Don't live with the father. She stays with the mother. But the kid sincerely loves his pops. And the parents, is joking at the time, saying, all right, so who you going with? Who gonna go with? Come with me or you going with your mom? The kid is like, I'm gonna go with mama. I miss daddy. And the parents are playing along with it, but they joking they like, nah, who you gonna go with? The kid is like, you ever notice how the kid get dropped off and they always look back at the mama, and then when the pops drop the kid off, the kid always look back at the pops. I say this to say this, man. It's a sensitive subject, very sensitive, because we're dealing with two highly loved MCs here. I did a show and I said about the Jay-Z and the Eminem thing. And they caused a little uproar. People said their opinions. People said how they felt. But this is more on that type of wavelength. This is about Ice Cube and the Notorious B.I.G., right? Tony Ayo was on Drink Champs a few weeks ago. And him and DJ FN was having a debate about who's the better storyteller between Ice Cube and Notorious B.I.G., right? Okay. That topic, that subject matter right there, had a lot of people online talking, right? And I want to get more deeper in the attack all around. Let's exit the storytelling thing. Let's talk about just who is just a better MC, period, out of Notorious B.I.G. and Ice Cube. Now listen, y'all. Hear me out, y'all. Hear me out clearly. I said on the last jump off, don't get emotional. You gotta leave the emotions out the door. Who won? I don't care where you from. I don't care if you're from New York. I don't care if you're from the West Coast. Let's not be, coast driven to pick your favorite because you're from a certain coast. If you're gonna give an opinion, if you're gonna express your view, try to be biased or try to deal with the facts. Now, the reason why this is a sensitive subject matter is because, like I said, these are both greats. talking about the Notorious B.I.G. We're talking about Ice Cube. Ice Cube, man. That man did a lot. Like when you look at the timeline from East Coast to West Coast, the timeline of when hip hop started. Everybody know the East Coast had a head start before y'all. Like, we're about to do the 50th anniversary, and we're on our 50th year. Now, when they say 50-year anniversary, we're talking about hip hop as a whole, no doubt. New York, down south, Cali, Japan, whatever the fuck you're from, man. We're talking about hip hop, right? It's universal, right? But when I said that the East Coast had a upper start, being that this is the 50th year, meaning that hip hop started in the parks of 1973. So since we're making the landmark, East Coast, like I said, we was active in 1973. The West Coast, they didn't start getting active till like 85, 84 maybe. Around that time, that's when they started connecting. That's when they started connecting the dots. You understand, world-class Wrecking Crew was something that Dre brought. And when Dre was involved in that, he was very young. But it wasn't moving in the direction that he really wanted, so he decided to form a group. And when you talk about Ice Cube, like I said, the West Coast, their movement started like 85, 86. So when you talk about somebody like Ice Cube on the West Coast origin level, you gotta look at Ice Cube as one of the forefathers of West Coast rap. Like how we got, how y'all look at, like how, let me see, a Kool Herc is, how y'all look at as what an African Bambaataa is, or how you look at what is a Melly Mel, such like that. When you think of those names in the East Coast, you're thinking of the beginning times of hip hop in the East, Bronx, whatever, right? So we gotta look at Ice Cube in that type of not the, but one of. You gotta understand, like 1985, Ice-T was like in the breaking movement. You feel what I'm saying? So when you talk about Ice Cube, we gotta look at it. Like 1987, he got down with Dre, or 86 or something like that. And their first album didn't do so well. It was NWA and a Posse or whatever, something like that. It had that Abrian guy, had a few other dudes. It did, I wouldn't say it didn't do well. It definitely ring bells in the West Coast. West Coast people was fucking with it. But when We Want Easy and Straight Outta Compton and Boys in the Hood and all that shit started to take place, you know, things kind of changed. You know, Ice Cube, man, Lord. That Straight Outta Compton album is one of the purest and rawest hip-hop albums you can get in the beginning cycle. One of the. Let me explain something, right? When you look at West Coast hip-hop, that Straight Outta Compton movement, it opened the doors for hip-hop in general, just deeper than just West Coast. When that came across, MC said, yo, I can say what I want. I can do what I feel. Who's gonna stop me? Like Ice Cube inspired so many others, so many people today. It's like this man grew up with the sport. And as you look at a pioneer like someone like Ice Cube and you forward the times of today, you will see that a lot of our top rappers, people that we loved in those 80s when crack was being sold at a heavy amount, if you look at them now, some of them declined. If you look at MC Shan now, he's declining bad. He got on record on, I guess his YouTube page. I don't know, somewhere he was just shouting out rappers that's not calling him to do shows. He was kind of disrespecting Nas, calling out Nas, as he felt like Nas ain't showing him love, but Nas says his name. MC Shan is like 57, looking like 77. Lord Jamar is 54, and he's looking like he's 49. I bring that up to say this. I brung up those two brothers' names because look at Lord Jamar. He looks healthy. He looks on point. Very have knowledge. He's not looking like he's downhill. Look at MC Shan. No teeth. Looking like he's 77. Old, belligerent. I say this to say this. It's on you what life you depend to take, the path that you decide to go on. Look what Lord Jamar's path was on. Being righteous, speaking holy, giving out the word, spreading that knowledge, to do for self, learn for self, know self, all that good stuff, right? You look at you look at MC Shan. Rumors of smoking crack, rumors of doing dust. Take 25, 30 years later, forward it, look at the outcome. I say this to say this, man. Life doesn't play games. You live a certain way, you live a certain type of lifestyle. It's gonna reflect as you get older. You look at Lord Jamar, you look at MC Shan. There you go. We're getting off the topic, but I'm just making a point. I say this to say this. Ice Cube is one of the pioneers of West Coast rap. When a pioneer gets at a certain age, sometimes, majority of the time, they fall in a state of still rhyming like you know,
the Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
Rhyming with that old school appeal. And you know,
the Bluetooth
sometimes
device is successfully.
That doesn't come across with people up to date now. And I say this about Ice Cube. Lyrically, he still got what it takes, but lyrically, he still got that old school appeal. Like, you know what's a perfect way to explain what I'm trying to say? Kool Keith came out with an album called Black Elvis Part 2, right? And I'm gonna basically play a song called Kindergarten Adults, and this is breaking down exactly what I'm talking about, pioneer rappers. Listen to this song and listen to this guy named Radar Van. Listen to what he's saying.
Yo, Keith. Yo, man, I came through the Orchard Beach with my daughter.
Listen.
And I see you was up on stage singing that joint. I'm in the back. I'm looking at the people with kids and they booing. And I'm like, yo, Keith, I don't think they know what's going on. And you doing your thing. I'm like, yo, why they front? That's my man, Ultra Magnetic. What they doing? But they didn't get what you was trying to do. You know, have you a lyrical MCs,
Right.
so they ain't get it. Hold up.
I know what you're saying. I know, Radar. What happened was I was doing the show, but you know, like you said, they didn't know what I was doing. I came out there to do the song, and Zed couldn't get in on some political reasons or something. So I had to add a show on the spot in the parking lot. So I went up there and I did
Political
sex
reasons.
style. I do sex style all over the world.
Taking the
No
jab?
problem with it. So I went up there.
Just listen,
you
though.
know,
Don't never mind
there
me.
was some, I didn't know no kids was there. I'm very sorry about that. But I'm talking about these old heads, you know, they stuck in time and all that, you know.
Old
they
heads
going
stuck
way
in
back
time.
you know,
Going
they
way back in
kindergarten,
time.
they mind. You know, you got adults. They just want you to come up there and do this. Come on down. Party people get down to the dumb found sound back in the day when everybody rhymed like this and they thought that was the shit. But I don't do that style. Meanwhile, a lot at the top of the pile. The river.
I say this to say this, right? Now you're gonna be like, what the fuck you talking about, right? Ice Cube puts out previous work in the past, and if you listen to songs from the Everything Corrupt LP, this is Ice Cube's last solo record. If you listen to that, just listen to the flow pattern.
I'm like a bad drug. I'm a bad drug. I'm gonna fuck you up. There's no description. I'm a bad drug. I'm a bad drug. I'm gonna fuck you up. There's no intervention. I'm a bad drug. I'm a bad drug.
I just picked the song. Any song on this album. You hear that? I'm not knocking Ice Cube flow. I'm not knocking what Ice Cube's done. But lyrically, a small decline. You still got that old school style in you. Now, hear me out now. Hear my point. Being that Ice Cube, and even if you listen to the album that came out with him, Snoop, E42 Short, you know, you got that old school feel, and it works for Ice Cube, and he does great with it. But when we talk about the Notorious B.I.G., right? We talked about somebody that died in 1997. So we didn't get to see what that man was gonna circumference, rise, come to. But I remember when he died, before he died, it was like a January interview. He said, I want to focus on being a better MC. I want to focus on being a better MC. He dies March 9th. I think a week or two later, something like that. Life After Death drops. That was 1997. Life After Death album is still to this day gotta be damn near top 10 albums of fucking all times. There's MCs and rappers that tried and still can't fuck with that album. Still can't fuck. I said this many a times, and I'ma sound crazy. People might get offended. But I said Nas' catalog can't fuck with Life After Death. Life After Death album was so goddamn perfect, so goddamn well put together. So fucking well edited. You talk about storytelling. Listen to Somebody Gotta Die. I mean, it sound like Biggie was sitting in the living room telling me the story. Like he was like you really pictured everything this man was saying. From the knocking on the door, from waking up dreaming, listening to Snoop. How to sell records like Snoop, and hearing the planes going by, being high, then your man knocking on the door, the dog barking, you had to calm the dog down to go downstairs, open the door. His man said, yo, this dude got shot. And he's looking through the peephole like, what? And he lets him in, he's seeing his blood, and he's like, yo, it's gotta be a revenge type thing, and then they pursue with the revenge. That sounds like a lot, and I left out a lot. So his storytelling and his ways of rhyming, it's just impeccable. Big was just a dope MC. Now, it sounds like I'm riding with Big, right? The peak game. We got songs like Summer Vacation by Ice Cube. Oh my fucking God. You got songs like Ice Cube got a lot of songs when it comes to storytelling or just dropping a vibe or just getting a point across. Ghetto Vet. That song right there. Wow. Can give you goosebumps. But I say this to say this, right? Because Ice Cube got a lot of songs. Because if you look at his catalog, you can pick any era of his catalog. There's gonna be a few songs that's gonna shook you up. But here's the reality, right? And I can't say this because Big died. But when we talk about, like right now, everybody got their own little top 50 list, right? Top 10, top 20 list, right? Whatever, right? Biggie's been dead, 24 years? I don't know, something like that. That man is still being called out. It's one of the top 10 best rappers of all times. Some people are saying number one. Now, I say this to say this, right? We can't use that because he died. Okay, they do the same thing for Pac, right? Fine. But look how many rappers that didn't pass away. There's mad rappers that passed away. Big L. We don't hear people talk about Big L like that. Big Pun. Sometimes Pun don't even get mentioned when we talk about a top 50 list. Extinction. You know, he had a little following. His shit is starting to die down. There's so many rappers that died, that passed away. We can't use the O's because he died. It's 20-something years later. You can still play a Life After Death album back to back. It's a lot of people that can't touch that album. But then you got shit like Ice Cube. He did Vaseline. Gotta be one of the top 10 songs, diss records of all time. Vaseline, yo, he dismantled NWA. Talk about being disrespectful. If like Easy and Ren, they probably wanted to shoot this nigga after they heard that record. But then, here's the side factor, right? Big didn't live too long enough to put out a full diss record, like when he's calling somebody name. But let me tell you though, Big got a few records where he was being subliminal. That Victory record, that Puff Daddy record, that Victory record, that's for that's featuring Notorious B.I.G. and got Biggie on the, Busta Rhymes doing the chorus. A lot of people don't know. The lines in that shit that Biggie was saying, he was getting at Nas. People like, he's talking, man. I heard kicking the door was for Nas. Listen, man. I'm the type of nigga, right? If I'ma speak it, I'm gonna make sure I have receipts, and I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna have something to back my motherfucking claim, right? Now, I said that the Notorious B.I.G. song Victory, or Puff Daddy song featuring Notorious B.I.G. Victory, is a diss getting at Nas. Alright, I'm gonna show you my claim.
1, 2.
I'm gonna tell you. We're talking about Nas, right?
Yo, the sun don't shine forever, but it's long as
Talking about Biggie throwing shots at Nas. I bring this up to say, yeah, Ice Cube had battle records. He did Vaseline, threw shots at Common. He was battle ready as an MC. Biggie never had a chance to really display that. But that boy was lyrically ready for the bullshit. Now let's pay attention to what B.I.G. is saying. Can anybody tell me Nas' first child's name? Let's remember that. Now listen. I just asked a question. What is Nas' first born child name is? Some of y'all might not know. A lot of y'all know. But I'ma say it anyway. We all know that Nas got a daughter. In 1997, the record was probably recorded in 96, maybe 97, I don't know. But everybody knows that Nas got a daughter named Destiny. She's probably like 2 years old at the time. Did you peep those lyrics?
For permission to hit him. He don't like me, him and wild wife, he was with him. You heard of us, the murderers, most shady. Been on the low lately, the feds hate me. The sun is, they say my killing's too blatant. You hesitating, I'm in your mama crib waiting. Duct taping, your fam, destiny lays in my hands. Got lays in my waist.
That's a little light, because you gotta understand at the time, right? New York hip hop was on a standstill. You had Wu-Tang running wild. You had Jay-Z trying to come up. The top dogs were Nas and Biggie. It was like rolling off with Nas and rolling off with Biggie. So it was that time of who's gonna rock, who's gonna remain supreme. You know, kicking the door. You know, that was for Nas. That was also for Boot Camp Click members too. He also was talking to Tech from Boot Camp Click. Wasn't dissing Tech, but he was talking to Tech. Remember that line? He said, "Son, I'm surprised you run with them. Look like they got you know that line." He's talking to Tech. You gotta understand, Tech and Biggie was like this. So he's like, "I'm surprised you run with these clown niggas." You understand? We're getting off topic. But I say this to say this. You heard that line. Your destiny lies in my hand. This nigga talking about damn near kidnapping and disrespecting. But that was a little shot just to say, nigga, look, nigga, I'm out here. But see, Biggie was very big on being subliminal. Like Jay-Z does sometimes. Another battle rap record that was on point was Long Kiss Goodnight. Goodbye. You know he was talking about Tupac. Even to put out Who Shot You after Tupac got shot was a little like, yo, my man, okay, maybe it wasn't for Pac, but why drop it when he got shot, after he got shot? So I say this to say that Biggie had a lot of battle-ready records. He was just subliminal. Who knows where he could have went with it if he would have stayed alive a little longer. So this is Gutter Vision, Gutter Entertainment. I say this, man. Ice Cube, he gave us conscious records. He gave us thought-provoking records, battle-ready records, one of the greatest hip-hop albums, straight out of Compton. He's done a lot. But when you mention the Notorious B.I.G. today and today's standing, he's still held high with elderly people, young people, East Coast, West Coast. It don't matter. So, your point, your stand-up, who is a better round off and have a better catalog? Who's just better? Ice Cube or Notorious B.I.G.? Leave your comments. Like I said, leave the emotions out the door. It's kind of biased for me. I love both of those guys. Gutter Vision, Gutter Entertainment. You know the rules. He's definitely not a fucking player.